Nabon sa Kevin nila pa adin pu Francis in pi Roslyn he ama ni he munjo sia min agoy jen hin kyo KSO Guwahati jong iwang phavin ama ni jong tun thai hola resource person angzau thion jin ama ni chukang pa thui ga seven pathinin chan ge damna hin pi thona tun ta angzau the jin ama ni chukang pa thui seven pathin he pa thui ga thok he ke ga hi le min len kongsai ka hin tu tua he KSO Guwahati president ka hin tu chunga it's a webinar KSO Guwahati organized ki bol na idea zat share hin bola adi in KSO advisor pulet cha hin amazon ang tha en tun thain jong ama chunga jong ki pathu ga seven ichi du dan he short ta hello ding hin chamcha very brief and short eating hin na je chun ku Francis to pi Roslyn jong introduction jong ehon bol hi jong level ama ni he tamzon head saw hi ikhat flyer ki siam yong chona bona ki ta atan ama he ku Francis he le Pratnya group ma CEO hi in pi Roslyn hi le fashion designer hi in ga ki sei le KSO Kolkata lamkai ka pan lai chona ama ma he KSO Kolkata ten jong imazo si design kana bol sa we deal ki bol piano ma en amazon nam pi dinga thil pachum ta hin bol de chuma ki pathu ga seven ichi du dan chomcha he di hin amasa he theoretical perspective ku Francis in holim na ani ding aban la practical business elo la entrepreneurship lang chi tiang leo EPP ngaya EPP boina ma EPP thei diam ti wa cha ehon sehi dong le ma ni nen se han di dia Roslyn in practical point of view as a perspective as a hen say ti ti zo pangzo siniga have do zo phat le thudo anom nei hon question ido atheyu amani zo amani thei top so a hin say bi do hin it is jo vision ding he stiang la vote of thanks KSO Guwahati vice president he lo le general secretary amani zo kha do hong ni ti hin ipi hele imazo se amani phat ipi do na livin hello penezong leng ke man taw nen nen gating kanei zo a hele pu Francis direct aren kila pai di tai department tun atang tam pi selovin pu Francis patan betaw te
ki pamin namasan tuni it's a zoom call chale YouTube live hung za ho zo se nilha pha chale kazana salam kin jong kain bol kidin amasa penin KSO president pu lilin hi en chale ato kompi ho chale advisor pu le cha hi in hitabang chanmon pha tidam privilege ke tuni tabang chanmon pha ni pi jivin no ho zo si chunga ave velin ki patho ga say no min chale kia ding zong I think it's an honor to share this platform with Roslyn na ti chui ho society adinga ki pa pi thai ta pi ha thangat pi ta khat a hi en tel bol do ho tu nai chi platform to share thai dinga komi ke gela le kia ding zong it's an absolute honor and pleasure adi ta chu let an phone masala chu pi level sel entrepreneurship lang chu ke saying in a kilom poi ta kan ki parliament pia dang dang ho sei sa win lang topic dang hyong le sei nang ye ta cha kan sei le ichun Roslyn an ke pi win anong chun theory hyong le tham kha be na sei de an sei kit pha chun kyong chu kan da nom te na hi le tu nya hi tham kha introduction ti dan de de hamna theory tham kha cham cha bo kan sei ding hin atam zo hi kin zong na hon zoi bon wa ning cha thu sei ngai nom so ke de hin ama practical knowledge sang zo na focus level ti chu ke yong ka dei sa in zong le piha theoretical background elo le corporate apa elo le management angle apa entrepreneurship chu ipiham elo le EPP ipiha aspects chom ipimam ti chu cham chakin ipiha introduction dan diwa chu theoretical thamkhat ka hin share no ma hin zoom call hoi sei ji bang hin piha mi khat le chai ha ma le boring zin hi chen slide thamkhat ka hin semin hi chu thamkhat in sharing ka tin hi chu samkhat discussion a bulletin China no so se chunga avail in ki pathu kan sein chule KSO Guwahati ho kan pacha nom na chaile tulai webinar tam jong le hi entrepreneurship topic hi piha khabe se na hi tuni hi topic na no hi I think it's very important society ading hanlang personally a hanlang till all angles na entrepreneurship hi poimo ta khat hi chule it's also a trend which is catching up na ya chui ta bang topic anen go no hi ave ave lin pa chan na ka pinom han lang tu in slide to in sharing gatin pa jang la so lo na lut pai jeng te na entrepreneurship as a career choice this is some sign say di hi na is it chun piha career related in entrepreneurship chung changa thu sei di tam ta min na izong le piha is career ai ki handiu le angai elo le gelding ho hin cham khat focus elo le streamline ana bolo hitin sei di wa de sa cho hi le amas opinion career lang thui sei diu ji ni chi piha presentation le webinar dang jong kana cover time izong le career ki handi dan hi thamkhat ga se le han introduction da diun ka de na ji chu piha entrepreneurship yang chu handi wa ilo le career phat phat ji handi wa le thil gya lawa kho thamkhat ka sain hi chu introduction dan diu na se witin aba na hin what is an entrepreneur chu kui ham ilo le entrepreneurship chu piham ti chu het sa jong le angle khalani thamkhat iga ve diwa ka de sa amen chale why entrepreneurship as a career choice entrepreneurship chu aphat dan chu za za tam tam jong le career ra nga chu bi ke bi ke hlan diu ham ti chu azo chun na focus hoitin chale entrepreneurship langa lunglu do chun what are the various options ilo le routes if you have follow the pp mam ti chun na se hoitin chale when is there a right time na iti akipat diham college drop out bola pat diham ilo le na cham khat to diham ti ho chu tham khat analyze na bola itin chale tu lai chu how do you develop those skills na entrepreneurship ading a skill ho chu hui lai develop the ham ti chun ana se itin last na chun $1 million question khat ana bihani ki damatin na bona bin tu na zaw zo se chun cham chai ni se di hin cover short pong ka tin chun abas penin career handi dan hi chi tam mun tam tai ni cover tawin ipiha yung le brief taga saying chun career ki han pa dole ini sayo le ini day sa so hele there are 3 things na ivet diwa day sa amin ama sa pinahin piha masang chun passion elo thanop na le ni kitizin hin la hoi ta hinung vet ale career ki han di pha le ipi career hi jong le piha thil thum hi vet ding hi day sa amin hechila ama sa pin chui piham tile what do you love na what's your passion piham na lunglut na chui piham ipi career hi jong le entrepreneurship hi jong le na ilunglut now chui piham what do you love na hichi career adinga I think it's one of the most important questions or weddinga ngayomin YouTube ma jong video tam ta min piha video khat de dio entrepreneur min thang songa langam khadu ipi interview clip about in 1 minute hamu piham why do entrepreneur ngai ding te ado wale you'll find most of them na answer to you have to have the passion for what you do na because it's a long run so chachu career jo sia chu what you love to most important in ani na nele what you are good at na any career ta corporate sector hai ta ilo government sector hai ta ilo entrepreneurship hai ta you have to have the skill na itim na khadamen football pe sai ji daben football pe thelo khat chu football pe na ki solte tem lai thelo hin na tham khat basic skill ilo le thanom yong le chun a skill ilo talent chu tham khat be om te na yin na athum na chun ele hichi career elo le hichi na to chun payback ka dei chui pe di nam na sum le pai ne le go dei ne hi le hichi career chun are you going to give you that kind of wealth or rich na elo le biha sum le pai money na pe di nam ai lo le if you want power na dei ai lo le status na dia le hichi career chun na pe di nam ti chu I think is one of the most important na hichi thum hi consider bola ngain acham lam tanga se le ni pizina mitile for example achu career khada chu if it's what you love na lunglun na passionate na khada hiya na actually na thip na khat talent na ne khada hiya a hiya le but payback elo le hichi career chun ipiha na payback sumai lo le money chu na pi lo dinga a hiya le ipiti tam tile na career achu you will succeed na ipizinam tile na lunglut chu na thanop na it's your passion and you're also good at it you have the skill na wa na lo hindi chu but you won't be happy ipizinam tile you're good you love it you might do it but that might not give you the money na that might not give you the status that might not give you the power it has to payback to amlo wa ya career khat ne kilan kha ya le na lung thai di na it is your first choice it na ni na chu nei le career khat chu kilan opin yeah okay so career head ke han pinu chu nang na lung na thip na khat a hiya you have the skill for it na and chule payback na de yong so apia but it's not what you love na lunglu na hilawale ipiti dam tele na law hindi but you won't be happy na mi tamta corporate sector ta government sector ta career tamta why are they not happy because they are successful na law hinta ta so ibanga elole celebrity tamta yong they commit suicide na ipizm tele they are good at it they get the payback they get the fame they get the money but alunglu ta ta lawa they can't handle the pressure then na chichu hum nom ji hi na athum na chu nei le na lunglu na khari hiya payback yong so au ma hiya le but skills na nei lawa le you are very unlikely to succeed na he just when say jita when politician mi ha politician he no mai the chona lunglu so le par sumjong na nei di but me manage da ne lo speaking skills politician kha hina dinga chu skill ho so na nei lawa hiya le lunglu le lang a payback chum jong le na ga lo hin di chu is very very unlikely na he cha chu hichi thum factor ho hi considerable wa career chu khilana wa ya le hichi alaya na lunglu na jong hiding ithip na jong hiding chele payback elo le return idei hong chu api hichi career chu na pi thya hi le the likelihood of we successful and we happy in that career is the highest na cha chu career hai khilhan pha do le hichi factor to mo you consider wa balance bolo wa ikilana wa le guarantee wang on point now but the most probability or likelihood of success or choosing the right career actually goes up na or is very high cha chu chang thumi consider bolo te ti chu iga se hin di chu entrepreneurship ba jong chu lunglu nahi nam are you good at it okay the payback whatever you're going to get chu ilunglu now hinam ide chu hinam tiang chu entrepreneurship ba jong chu consider bolo ngai ja chu introduction dan yo iga se hin na tu na banin entrepreneurship chu pi ham ti chu ana sei level I think all of us know music in heaven na entrepreneurship to business cat creating build building na growing tale profit generate building this has okay na abang sun entrepreneur who takes action to change the world na do develop some product develop do a service and you change the world entrepreneurship so entrepreneurs also chiso bole he na we know all that but one aspect of entrepreneurship one angle of looking about entrepreneurship me tamten even inigel lo dile even kha lo diwa gin cha choile entrepreneurship an entrepreneur is someone who leverages na other people's time money and resources to achieve his vision na hoiten vele na masa biha video da ngaine sei ni jewa world well ho chu 1% population chun 50% well an even na kumnga jo ki bangchan ki homatin ki le hop ki do tin hijong level kum som ka chu 1% also half mama chan ki di hoini ti ju pc hamatile because an entrepreneur they know how to leverage other people's time money and resources to achieve their vision na vision kha chon chu but they can't do it alone na cha chu mi dang ho time money resources so they have employees they appoint people to work for them na mi sum bank sum ham elole sum amon sum no si sum on entrepreneur sum no si amon po do lo cho na private equity venture capitalist ho elole bank ho sum ala cho na elole resources infrastructure so it's also amanwa hicha ko na cho amo vision chu achieve na dinga cho amano na I think that's one important aspect of looking at entrepreneurship na GCP busy am tile hichia bana in hum clear di na entrepreneurship elole entrepreneur he there could be 4 stages or 4 types na because pan dukan khat honjong so entrepreneur hi thei jo na elole Bill Gates elole Mark Zuckerberg so he could be called an entrepreneur na cha chu stages elole types thum so ipiham hi ga available I think you'll become more clear about the leverage na first type elole first stage so ipiham tile it's like self employment na chui piti tam tele doctor khat bangchon clinic khat hon ta chuna elole lawyer khat nei le nangin lawyer services offer na bol CA nei lole CA service na offer ale ipiti tam tele is you are starting a business but it's more like a self employment ipisi nam tele no leverage na because kuima me time na leverage lo so nangman you are just employing yourself and you are just using your time and your knowledge and your resources na so le freedom lo so ipijenam tele nang chona dam mo nang na boile na business on boy jeng chona because it's only a one man business na so that could be the first stage or the first type of entrepreneurship elole business na ani na choni ipiti tam tele it's an employer or a manager na cha doctor pa chun clinic kham kan han ta chuna nurse oilo le mi adang dang ek thopi dinga un hire ta chuna but ipiti tam tele cha hi leverage abol ta so mi thamkhat na to ding ho chu nurse oilo clerical work ho chu mi dang khat abol sa ta so but what still happens is he or she still does most of the work na atam zo chu amana bol na lai so hi cha chu ipiti tam tele leverage chu there's some leverage but there's no full leverage na and most of the work amana bol na lai ja chu freedom nai lo so ti bang ala le chun boy na lai chuna clinic chu boy thai na lai hi cha chu this could be the second stage or the second category of entrepreneurship na athum na hinele or athum na stage thum na chunele you become a business owner na chahi piti tam tele you have people who can take care of your business some leverage umta chule some freedoms umta chuna chachu ipiti tam tele you started hiring people to take care of your business chachu you don't have to do everything na nangi ma chana bol ngai telo but you still have to be there to oversee na and in this stage rakhat bangso suti na ga chiole hobe se talo chuna there's always a talk in entrepreneurship na if you can't go on a vacation for 1 or 2 months without your business showing a loss in revenue then na you're not still owning a business at this na sita banga chu business khat chu owner ka hitai tipala chun at least 1 month bang chu sutiana chi yong le na business wa boy ta poi na you have certain systems and processes and people to take care of your business na so chu a stage thum na ahung is most important the last and the entrepreneur tata iti pa so ipiti tam tele here you have full leverage full freedom na sometimes no na lungdong mai the chuna to entrepreneur ma zu ko ba ta ku ita they all go around doing press conferences no ta wa le how do they run when do they run the business na they don't actually do the work now not because they have the team who can run they have fully leveraged others people time money they appoint CEO they appoint people who can actually do the work na so full freedom ta so mo am lo jong le ho ta lo chana and what they are now focusing is the business to what are the new technologies hichi business see what else can I do they are focused to chombe eta so na where can I take my business to the next level so the focus there is completely different na day to day aga kisa boya business itinam ti na payment chain nam ti also that's the entrepreneurial level also about na so this could be the 4 stages or the 4 types of entrepreneurship na an entrepreneur true entrepreneur too where you start leveraging other people's time money resources to achieve your vision na what I got say lang why entrepreneurship achun there are several good reasons why you should be an entrepreneur na entrepreneurship aphat dan chu sei da jing otena society atanga chu he saw hin na but me khada ding chu entrepreneurship so why should I choose as a career na there are various very very good reasons na gang divin in slides engeten control full freedom you can do a give impact contribution you can create your legacy na you can change the world na you create jobs business even charity na look at Bill Gates into IP bolam Warren Buffett in IP bolam and he goes to say almost 90% they are giving away to charity na they really change the world so being an entrepreneur creating a business now you can actually do all that now you can create your own legacy impact you get lots of great reasons there are great reasons to actually become an entrepreneur second na chunele building well na now most of the people let's admit at the end of the day entrepreneurs because you want to make money and you want to be rich na and it's always that's not but sometimes it could be risky because one thing wealth creation the eventual realization of or the secret of building well is not chasing the money na me also say the real key secret one secret to building well is not chasing money na because once you start chasing money na you'll go for a job you work you 24 hours you'll never get enough money na but the key I want to say is finding solutions na to those problems na ipizenam tele tunia le betaute Jeff Bezos na Amazon nei pa ho why is he the richest na person in the world so we bona ba hote ho Bill Gates ta hote na koi me also say valuation why are they rich na it's because they have identified problems na which people needed and they have actually identified problems which large number of people needed na so problem new khatsun na identify ya Hichichun, let's say hukhatsu a satisfied ingale, your business or your well will be that much. Now, district hatsu problem hatsu na solve aya, district mi chengza solutions na pi ahile, your business and your well will be that big. Wano ilisit pumpia mi himzo say problem hatsu na solve solution hatsu na pi ahile, you'll definitely, there's no way you can't be you wouldn't be a billionaire. Na. Jatsu pijam tel amo business hatsu, the identified problems which the solution to which everybody or large number of people need. Na they are able to create that well. So building well, it's not harmful or it's not wrong, but you have to be careful now where the focus is, because if you start chasing the money, there will be lots and lots of problems now later on. And line he probably to career school college trying to build career holding might be too deep, but he probably Roslyn may relate, or entrepreneur also they can probably relate. But eventually, as you run your business, you have to choose between creating well or running a successful business. Now, see, at some point, because the business to karan no mean I want to be in control. Na apalo lang ay pon well na I want to control and I want to run this business na tiham. I want to create well for everybody na tiham na. See, very, very important. Well creation, so an idea here, you need to scale your business and you have to raise outside capital. Now, outside capital, it's venture capital, funds, it's also na equity stake to which means you will lose control. Now, but kitchen successful business karan no mean karan no me I don't want anybody opinion na tiale. You should not take outside capital and you should stick to debt funding or self funding. Now, because I'll give you an example. Now, for example, the biggest example is Steve Jobs. Now, he created Apple. Now, and he wanted to run Apple the way he wanted. Now, biography similar. But what eventually happened to one outside capital raise was me and Puita, and he wanted to run in the way he wanted. And eventually what happened was he got kicked out. Now everybody, yes, okay, so now he got kicked out and he did Pixar and all that. And later on, now he came back to Apple through some other, acquisitions. But eventually he was kicked out. Now, so entrepreneurship, we also have to eventually at some point decide, am I building my business for wealth or I want to run this business? Now, business we run normally and we want to keep the control, then outside capital so you should not see, because once you seek venture capital, but you'll create lots of wealth. For example, Flipkart so eventually when Walmart in Acho a founder 10 they only held 1 or 2% shareholding in the company as also. But that 1 or 2% company was still worth 5,000, 6,000 crores. So the focus, whether you're focusing on creating wealth or you're focusing on I want to run this a successful business. I think it's an important question while deciding on entrepreneurship. So slightly high level entrepreneurship I just wanted to throw some perspective on that. Now, how to entrepreneurship? There are various options. Now, the first option to like anybody new entrepreneur, you completely start from the scratch. Now, mina bol khalo concept product you can create, you can launch, and then you can start your business. Now, there are lots of people who have done that. A second nachun, lots of people who want to own a business, they buy a franchisee. Now, franchisee people have developed the brand, they develop the system, everything. You just have to buy the brand and the systems and you run it. Now, for example, McDonald's, like KFC, franchisee in the South. So now, it's good because brands are established, process on established, products on established, you don't have to do all the hard work. The only flip side is you'll have to share majority of the revenue. Now, maybe they'll take 80-85% and you'll be left with 15%. Now, that's the only flip side. But franchisee also is a model which works, and many people adopt the franchisee model to become a business owner or an entrepreneur. Buy an existing business. Instead of scratch up business set up feel I have the money, then lots of people buy a small existing business and then they start from there. Option Alina, which is applicable to copy an existing concept. Ola, Uber, Flipkart. Ola, Uber also in US what model they just apply adapt it to India. Flipkart also they just copied Amazon and they just copied the model and applied in India. hitabanga chu I ho jong chun let's say mon US up India copy le hon jong mainly in India pa chu what are the concept which we can copy back home na in langa chu if you concept also copyable thebam na food delivery ta ip ta so there changchu I think it's also a good way of starting the business only thing it's local conditions also we have to customize na we can't just copy paste adapt I lo le customers bona in na Ali anga na chunele at least ayo stage one I say so become at least a 1% farm and then see how you can build from there. Dr. Khani let's just start a clinic na elole if you are an architect just start your own one-man farm then you start building from there. So one option and there are people who actually are happy with just being a one-person firm na mi khat lele they also run the farm and they're happy with that much of scale or that much of business na and of course on a smaller scale too like lockdown to pito na is a work from home business na there are lots of business who try to outsource a certain portion of their business to people who can work from home na so that also is one way of small scale na yon jong entrepreneurship work from home pat thei ti dan dewa so option na hin na now ban hin when is the right time na because most of us if you have personal finance video ki bolmi tam tan as na to tilai chen sei la chen ki ge ta ti ngan comment ang lo jin na cha chu entrepreneurship ba jong chu ayo khalle mi tam tan as na ki ma het le ti how in de ti ya chu chicken cover go hin na so when is the right time to actually start a business or become an entrepreneur ENY has okay na Ernst and Young they did a study of entrepreneurial leaders entrepreneurship leader li tam ta hoi survey na bolo na I just wanted to reproduce that data na amona say na chu startup apat over akumuhi amon analyze na bolo na hichi chu survey aso gang devin in koijing get data phat ikhat nothing hom thos bi chen na chahi ipina mu do theiwa 100% la chu there's a good and a bad news na what you can observe is 55% na of the entrepreneurs started their business before the age of 30 na first row then you will na 40 plus 10% na before 30 years also they started their business na but the good part also is after 30 also there are still 45 people who started business after the age of 30 na and even 14% after the age of 40 so there's a good news on both sides na if you can start early you have an advantage it's good but even if you start late no it's never too late na tong sai lo le piha kung katam tai ti ayon so pat mo hi poi na ti chu piha it's the right time aning chu ga say no mo hin another important question chu okay na tong sa ke hin can I start a business I'm already working somewhere na should I leave my job ti chu some of the questions piha mi os in the face is chung ide na so it's a survey mama data chun more than half transition from employees zakalla chu 58% actually worked in some venture or some company before they started their venture na and 42% are direct entrepreneurs tichuni psm tele Bill Gates la Mark Zuckerberg na college dropout bola gang ta elole na tonglela entrepreneurship pan ho chu they are actually still in the minority na icha chu na tong sayum ba elole piha dang dang I involve sai ma jong le we can still start a business and Roslyn Zongchun he actually he worked for a few years na gained the knowledge and then actually ventured so there are lots of people who do that and it's also is helpful na the only thing though you pale tham khat say na ten na just flip side khat jong min chu which we have to be careful na now where to develop entrepreneur skill na hichi survey ma mailo le bihar report research Harvard in tang don research tam ta bolo win na they try to identify entrepreneur traits na common ep mam ti research tam ta bolo win na and what they also realize is there are some common traits strong internal locus control so entrepreneur they want to control everything they want to do everything on their own terms now that's one of the traits they observe and they see opportunity when other people see disruption now for example people are new say lungim so covid na pandemic but entrepreneurs see an opportunity in those times of disruptions now because they have a big risk tolerance so they have common traits but one final conclusion which they also arrive at most of the reports arrive at is entrepreneurial leaders are most of them are made not necessarily born na mi apena para entrepreneur gene nei momo umeti umbe selo na they couldn't conclusive so entrepreneur skills or entrepreneur traits or talents can be developed. Nah, which also explains why everywhere across the globe, even in India, entrepreneur skill development education is booming like crazy. Nah, IMC, the management schools also they have opened, entrepreneurship cells or departments. Nah, everywhere tea hubs, incubation hubs, nah, venture funds. So everywhere, nah, Indian angel networks. It's all booming because people do realize that that certain skills or most of it, maybe certain traits are inbuilt, but most part of it or most part of those skills can be learned or developed. Nah, so I think that's one important conclusion, and we can also develop those skills now. And they also realize I say bangin the value of corporate experience na mi anatong khat company khan anatong process business sidan hesa hochun. They do realize that there's good value to it when they do a business now, when they start a business, because that experience can come in handy. But one thing, the common warning is they have to be increasingly aware of opportunity cost. Now, opportunity cost si economic side lo le adang finance lang la ho so ni head mama di hin ipdm tele na na hin to a na to sot chana chu ipiha da ha chi chin, because your salary keeps increasing, your responsibility keeps increasing. Na da ha le sum ai lo le na forgo di so hung tam chi phale, it becomes very very difficult to live. Na so if you want to get into entrepreneurship and you want to gain that corporate experience, be very clear. Nah, I'm only there for a few years. Nah, kung hizaram ka boy experience kala adhin these particular skills, this particular company, preferably a small company, not a big company. Nah, big company so you learn a small part of it, a small department. Nah, but if smaller companies you can get wider exposure. Nah, so plan so you have to get into that corporate experience. Nah, otherwise you might end up getting stuck there. Nah, so most of the people will face that challenge, particularly because you lang so first generation ngan ki hinalahin na, there are lots of responsibilities back home. Nanan topan le na boy piting na vetting na now dim set din na. Once you get into that, it's very difficult to leave that and get into that entrepreneurship na. Entrepreneurship ti tabi na jaha sunga chu ha nga ji na. So, but at the end of the day, the actual learning comes from actually taking the plunge. No amount of theoretical work, study, or corporate experience will really help. Finally, you have to take the plunge. Most of the entrepreneur leaders also they are the people who keep building different business. The 50% of the new businesses are being built by 20% of the entrepreneurs. Now, they are serial entrepreneurs. Now, once you develop one, so you're successful, you sold it off, then you can build another one because you have developed skills. You have that experience, you have that network, then you can keep on doing. So there's nothing like getting the skill from actually getting your hands dirty and actually taking the plans. Now, this is where I got say in. Last session, the $1 million question. Think you have what it takes to be an entrepreneur. Now, entrepreneurship, there are very good sides of entrepreneurship, and I take points I cover because I thought Roslyn's in personal experience or in Hasel. There are good sides, there are very good aspects of entrepreneurship, but there's not dearth of challenges. Now, there will be lots of challenges. 90% of the Indian startups fail within 5 years on inception. Now, company Indian advisory companies on him, foreign fund Indian companies on him. We are part of that Indian angel network, so we keep investing in all this startup now. So kinzong presentation ho startup ho present ho like kana tenzi just for this call in company invest ka bol so kaga anung in at least also like there also then na zakalang niling di man so now over the last 10 or 12 years. But of that, a successful chief at you can still count on your figures now. You count on your fingers. But the good part, of course, from the investment side, that one or two which is successful will make up for the entire investment. But they'll be so successful that you'll get back your money and other returns. But this is true because lots of startups will still fail because there are lots of challenges which you have to face. When we entrepreneurship, we have to weigh all both sides. Not just, you should not be blinded by just the good sides and jump in blindly. Let's be prepared. Let's get the knowledge, know what we are getting into, and what challenges we can get into now. For example, somebody might think boss ka hile, I'll be under entrepreneur ka hile, I'll be my own boss ka deva para tel ka boli team ay na. But once you get into there, you have your bankers, you have your customer, you have your vendors, you have to go by, most of the time you have to go piha mo tay mana chiong ay kizi na. So it's not actually you're your own boss. So some people abang khatsun okay entrepreneurship ka sila ka deva pala na ka to de team ay but at least at the initial years entrepreneurs slog like crazy na. Na to lai sang company na to lai sang ha ta to so di na. I think Roslyn can probably vouch for it. So most of the entrepreneurs I see, they struggle and they said hita banga na kitole munda nga suna you become a CEO. I just imagine because CEO also as established company, established procedure, just to manage it also is that tough now. For you to start your business from the scratch, build it, it's going to be much harder. So, but the fruits are, is up for grabs. But there are challenges. So the $1 billion question is, do you think you have what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur? Introduction dan dewa thamkhat academic plus introduction dan dewa ga say lang ngang gating. I think I'll give it hand over to Roslyn because that's what we are also all waiting for kinzong kangai ka ngala is in amasuna makura na pido kita na. Thank you so much.
Okay. Neza takes okay now.
Okay.
Kazai nilhapa. Francis aholim ju kangai kipadapat kan ngai dia juga ahisawale kipalamtan to say zeo hello he's at I mean kan say job dia do dinama to organize aban banahin goal lain ke chun ke life experience si ham chu kan kong holim de hin aman an say na banga chu choosing your career then who what tiaban banahin say la ho chu ke life experience achu in terms of design entrepreneurship ti dan de kan say ki de hinjong so because entrepreneurship on ki phating there are a lot of varieties na a lot of field me ahi na thei banga abol thil hot variety chom din set hin but ke chun kan say ding chu apparel sector designing lang career genome hoin iti aga avedwa chu because the steps are mostly same if you feel hile na that's kin an say na Francis an say na ban ga ke say le kyong chun college ka chai cha chu direct entrepreneur lang pang hi katha no mita kan ki gel halo he because college agi kai pe na chu ipiham professional course ki zilhi za chu abana chu na to opa chu anaki gel masa inyo aile nahin kito ong kito le somehow a own business ka in nei thaya la chun independent at ki bol thading ti pa chu important hung ki sapan hin and ji aspect chu kan he thei pana phana bo chu kan ki gel ha I mean I think one day this is what I think I would do ti pa kha hum pana he but it did not happen immediately asai banga chu kya yung chu I passed out in 2004 kum gate kum ko ti hona kan to zo hi family hong kinaita then lot of responsibilities started coming in Japan chu I mean me no ya na hin to ting you don't have the freedom na anytime leave la adin dingaung chu you have to write an application wait for someone's approval ti pakhat hum tan ni me ki hizaung chu I think there was some drawbacks I guess chu hota bang ho experience hum pan phana chu I guess mine situation chu hum ja na chudung chu ya chu career hiti lang pangzo ahin ki bole ti pakhat chu tim khat chu hum do apan ahin on top of that till anaki sim sal wala anaki bol sa hot event vedala chun ithanop na khat chu ana umjing thowa ahin ahile why should I not do this ti pakhat questions phana chu I think I jumped in like Francis say banga chu you have to take the risk you have to like forget about the rest of the opportunity that you have been seeing but amasanga chi risk kala ale chi ko bol do thei mai thei ti pakhat chu kan nei phana chu kyong kapat ahin ke experience thu ka say de hin chom chu khat chu ni na ngai thiu win la Roslyn khong sai hi 2013 na chu officially launch ki bola hin, but chimasang pe hi Guwahati mama hi khang tha conference am kha an omin ulunzlen ho lam kai na hin chi pe na hi ai ke chi pe na chu na ka to na lai I was still in job. And aman ahin ulunzlen initiate and bol na chu pitam pile e hola since you being one of the designer around us hiti tin kha ka gelovin for the like fun drive ball na ding chiti I think I phem khat ball khomute kan say I chahe kin okay then kin ka contribute thena ding pen to design sema hiti thil khat ball ding ma chu kong katha no min why not this ti pakhat to discussion kana na even ai cha chu necktie thang nang necktie ki sim do pa chu khang chu ani hitai cha chu hong ki sim pa na but I was still in job and yeah event na le chu ni ho chu appreciate a ball mama ti pakhat chu reaction chu ki mu pha na chu lung thima chu ki pa any but then I did not had my brand yet na kitong na lai ta chu kyum na lai hin ahile akum kuma ta chu all la chu chi tabang thil ho chu ke hin side by side you know while I was still working I was doing all this small side work side project ina makabol bolle har khat chong thung tan 2012 I think yeah insung family planning ahong kinaita because obviously zine zote na chun chak ne nom thong pha na chu kaloi pate ho to discuss ka bolwa I think you should leave your job and then we should see what life takes us at tita bang discussion kan ne ule ina ka home kha hen ka home le na tong jing ki pha na chu 8 to 10 years bang na hong ki tong ta ina thip chana ki tung thei ta lo hin cha chu all la brand same ding pa chu ki evolve kha hin cha chu 2013 February I think apart hitai let me launch it tipa khan ki gel ha March 2013 phaya kahunga launch ka ke ball hai label chu and that's how it started and initial stage achu ke bang chun ka thil zo di ho bang chu marketing ding chu because though I was a designer marketing lang chu ki theme lo hin cha chu ake pat na ding mai ta banga chu ka pa ina pa na he thil chu wholesale hitata retail hitata ne ta cha hung ki zo open hin cha all la he mi ho hin them khat ein het be ti da word of mouth atam zo hung hin ha order kila ti hong pan than them khat cha chu kyong katha nom che cha chu all la he 2015 na official registration kan nei the ya the brand chu cha chu I think that's how it kind of keep happening what kapana stage kapha wanga he I would say that I'm still not successful enough but ga wedding chu henge stability wang chu nya kha na umtan but because akipat na to I hin compare I have come a long way but I still have lot to do na ti kha chu omen entrepreneurship langa lut nom ho chun gelding khat chu bowling eta na gel hi ta le there's no there's no turning back because now that you've stepped your foot in it you ha hen lang ipi zong le na thagum na to lo le imazo sia ha goodwill very na nei zo se na lungyal zo se cha chu no ko ya hele chun ai thailo ding ti chu thailo he ke gel da na cha chu hal he zong le chun na lungtup khat na gel ha pa chu zui zenga although na te dinga pan pa chu ngai ka sen adi dia e ho youngster ta ahong ding generation ho abana bol nom ho alo la ahong ki pandi ho in heading khat chu ema identity ne hi very important in any field hi ta na bol ki got pen pa chu zolanga Francis in ahan say na chun you have to have your own like identity or uniqueness in the field mi abol sakhat na copy diham elawale nangin athabi athil khat concept khat nan po do achi concept na zui mi na follower thei dinam na chi chu ni hin option ni hin because copy na bola na pa na le chun obviously there will be at some point of time you'll be totally saturated abana bol be din het lo de hin but if it's your own unique idea and if you have the it is say creativity nang ma own creativeness na bol hi ala chun step to jeng de one by one na advantage ng na nei jeng de cho tabang thil chu eho la hi kin ka muda na hi anabol sa thil miotam ta min successful ta mi dim se min entrepreneurship langa but ke ma own experience dung zuya wang chu ke gel da na hi any field that you want to do you have to know the basic of that field na foundation beya in ki sa thilo to banga chu ga gel ding chu na design field analu nom na chun at least design field related course sam khat chu alhom pe na diploma course yong le na bola at least abc na na ko na english nan sim thik da banga chu chong chu ngai khat au min the same way people say they have art to ho engineer ho lai people le abol nom ho chun chi fila chu alut masa chu phating le abana abol ha azui nom pen pa chu professionally azui theding a career chu ki sim the hin chi ho chu ke experience dung ja kan se hin yang tia nei do no lo le nei se pi be no wa le nei it's always welcome na ke apa na chan chu hita hen lang yang tia ka se dinga lom nei na gyalom nei he so
Len, over to you, Danaite.
Len, kipao min, Francis hiin, di Roslyn hiin, oi kayen, ichi isialin ay say pibin, tua entrepreneurship lang lungkut ho di BP ball maya iti ball dem ti ho chu kichi isialin ay say pibin tua he question answer na thudo nei nom hon direct azong khat khada hin do jeng thayu hi lo wa hele chat box ang chu question thot thayu hin na kichi dung ju ya chu koi pen question do diu ham u Francis do no mole ama min seutin ai lo wale pi Roslyn do no mole ama min seutin ama ni no jidung ju ya chu khat khana hin don du handi
Len khat YouTube live azong question khat le niu nga cho jong in la thei diu ham na
okay follow pi na ahong o ma hele direct a hin ten ji ngo
Hello. Koma question ong yang puaken hun lama sepen ka. Kepa koma tha no puma. Ke le business lam chu ke lom pa pastor ka ya. Tripuram ka ya. Ayen la business lam he ka lung lut na khate ha. Tu hin missionary ya koma Tripura. Chun school le ka neiwa. Je school hi pathin na sepna ki mga kini ha katot nom khat chu personal team le ka bakhen nom khatuma tu kum hi kum som langa at karan na weta je school hi ale je school hi ba pata sma ke ma tha na le sum tom cha apada ki pan ale kan nei cheng ka income ko source cheng hi je business ma ti gan katin school ading ka invest be ko sum mong saving lo the last 15 years to ai boy na ong ma le ka ba assets nge na kha kan nei je khan financial lama hong hak sata ma ale je hi ka ge la le investment ki bol hi adik ke namal chang le adik lo do yo ka ngai tu dan tam piu ma je bang ti ai saving he bang ti khuna pata bol ding ai dem ai lo ale je hi bang ti dem bai gi ta lu tam ma yo ka bak tong no me le thi mo ka dot na chu pa Francis
follow what's the answer yam le okay kin hin tem jing katin ka head khel lo le iti sum business a ko na sum hung ki mu pen saving di dan cho na ba ipi business zo se a hin na ba business zo se hin finance elo like cash flow management it's one of the most important critical function khada hi na ba video dang kharang so in say tawin hichi profit elo le balance sheet ho sang azong so cash flow hi very very important hi na isn't the finance ahun cash is king ativin if the company tam ta ho they are profitable na but they go bankrupt because they run out of cash na company khat bang so profit hoya hoi profit so let's say crores of khat so halun nam khat la mu di na e wanga so thabula so lopi na di ham elo le bank ho sumpi di ham elo le vendor ho sumpi di so anei lo wa ile company so boya profitable hi wanga so bankrupt chi the hin na it's hin finance elo le business management ahun cash is king again cash flow management hi it's one of the very very important function na pa it's ahun any business which runs na so you go through cycles profit pattern adang pan hum ji na it's so they always build for the rainy day na it's so pya amu hasan na ding ni ho so ki vea cash flow to cash to build up ki bola na so pi ti bam tele working capital lagi na it's so working capital so haizat adham komizat adham khacho personal finance so initial so emergency fund initiative na so abu hila business so hong fluctuate azong le haizaram kha so boil wa ka chi theina dinga so ipiha sunny dia so piha per bill up bo na very very important here but you can the flip side to it is na ha bill wal be se ahile sumchu lock up ki de na ba you have to balance the two na because it's sumchu lock up working capital adinga na kwai sanga so it's sumchu reinvest na bolle business so kham ki the na yeah so there's an optimum amount na normal emergencies elole normal business cycle ho adinga so we can actually manage with those buffer na pandemic ho tabang elole to some covid ho tabang situation am lawang chun so believe me business 90% 95% business are not prepared na ki ho because of that company can invest now nobody was prepared for this kind of event na because this is once in a 100 or 200 event it's sitting also some buffer koi wala chun so tam ta chu manglo hela chu local ball ki dio hin na return hoilawa I think that's not the intention but optimal at least business cycle hobe manage thaina dinga chu sum izaram kha chu the working capital chu ikoya hi ale na ba it's a cycle chu chi hanlang ong hoi mo jong at least that temporarily fluctuations wang chu ki manage thin na it is nothing about the business and profit wants to generate ngai na a business to profit lawa loss hi jing la wants a buffer bills yang sum lo di na azu business and profit tam kala generate jinga fluctuation kum khat elo la khat abui kal amal chun hi manage to cash flow management azong manage the hin ti chu ke longgel lan na ba hi answer to namang ke pon hi ma temporarily fluctuation na ho manage hi la wang chun it's a better cash flow management bola jong su it hin ti it's a manage the ko in te ka ti na ba
tu chung covid hin commit khat lo sak kum som na ngalam hoi ta ka ki chi mo ale to he kum khata ding ale banga teacher te lo ding ki pe jo lo go la ngum le kan lung le hung dong ti mo khong ki ngai tu te to wa ke no chu kan na sep da no chu ti chu like 10,000 ka mu le 20,000 15,000 na ka sep boy chu ita kha ke le in terms of assets hapia ka create mo ale je savings lam phang kha anaki ha ngai tu khalo ale tu chungai ng boya le je chu baga ka be thung hak dok phan te
so but so even personal level a jong na pa chang business level a jong atam zo yong ine kamasa video ang ni sei tawa atam zo yong personally a jong so emergency fund ne ki nei lo ja so lakha long lo le po na ki boy na atam zo ki boy ki personal a jong so lathum be emergency fund nong so ni ki ko hena le ki boy lo de na ba chang so business a jong so kum khat a di ham na pa lathuma di ham khat so isi buffer khat wang so i koi the ya hi ale at least 3 months or 6 months acho business so downsizing ham cost cutting ham tham khat be so it gives you some more time na pa to manage it better na alham sa pe na so ibui pa na helison there's no time na to go it's thing acho at least it's a soft landing ti di ham na pa by diwa phadiwa I khat the thing acho it's a cash flow management elole it's working capital buffer chu hoita manage thelawang chun na pa khalang kum nilang covid ja hum boy howang soile pan nang business bose hilo all business na even the smartest people in India, in the globe, all companies are facing the same issue because they also 6 months budget na ball but they don't expect it for something so long. So it's once in a force major event hinna. Hita bangane so business also plan part le optimal event ading I plan the hinna. Extreme base also if you plan the lo hin. Tu so I think it should not be disheartened na. It's everybody, and such a pandemic or such a wider scale, nobody expected na. And it's not something which happened every year, every 10 years, it's every 100 years na. It's also abu hilang lesson. I think it should not be disheartened, but the lesson is at least the normal regular fluctuation or manage the thing also is a cash flow management to improve the AI build. I think that is the learning from this pandemic experience na.
Dike kipa kome chang chua ke paten
question khat YouTube langan awin pastor mangin question hin tolong Francis kana don tan question khat awin mix bag gi kitina benjong na steam gi jong le a question he la ding ina fain Francis no ngam to ke tan ro in siming ke khat mitam pi in career lampang hi asei parle sumle pai ha sakti in kalungrial ka bol to zo ko ti zingen gi chehi itin ge ala Francis the question and the Francis in it in the video.
Okay, Rose, you want to take a crack at it first?
I think you should go ahead and reply.
Okay. I keep amin question so piha mitam tain piha igel lo khat hiding ka ging chai na tam zo yo kan say jab in lang hasat na ho. What I realize na piha me successful ho history ho biography ho kyong ka hasim to in. I think in lang ihasat now somle pa ihasat now our background na actually is our biggest asset. Na haitan vele chun nopin sa minop sa ilo le mi hausa hasalo ang ki brought up bohu, they'll never have that hunger na, that hunger to do something ilo le earn, work hard, that determination na, that usually doesn't come if your upbringing is very easy na. Baitara hasalo ila ang ki brought up ale silang hi ki gel pa be silo ki chi hil num ji hin na. In langa hasata a sumle pai hasata a ihung ki kho wa gente hasata in guti on suma in chokwa gampama lekha isimu. Actually, if you really look at it, that's our biggest asset na. I think it should not be an excuse. It's actually a biggest asset. Hichi akuna hichi determination hichi ipya hunger ka ini hona iman thim wa yale. I think that is our cornerstone for success na. Ilo le numbale. Me atam to entrepreneur ho who value most of them are self-made billionaires na hasata ta hung kon ngan the na hasanan to akona piha hung thang to ma hung pangan na na echa chu sumle pai nei lo ho hi. I think there are two ways of looking at it. Excuse I let's excuse man manana gpt, but I think the right way to look at it as the greatest asset we would ever have na, because it's akona determination le hasan na thang tom na sum hasan na he ja so hapanai pan nom na chu ihozong kuijong laito hoyong Roslyn jong na everybody, because that difficulty has also we are pi muzong lai pi yong le hasat ki thong le ho ke salo na kana say jitan IT Delhi ko tan kana bol lai bang so I didn't do your hostel economy how khas lang so biha crash course fizia kana join ani ki chi jina singka len ki chen dilong ke class ki join ikile pha le DTC basa to na ki changlo na house ka sapana not Delhi lang chan so ki khai long ke na ko tho chen he din sang kin lai dila lang le DTC basa to chen he di na, but we forgo all those because you have that hunger, that experience na means so ngom khat ke le chen we wouldn't have that energy to go through such experiences. So I think it should be seen as a biggest asset, and ayo me assets me time leverage body ti tabangwa so hichi asset elo le hichi experience in so I think we should leverage it fully na, and if we leverage it fully, that could be our key to succeed in whatever we career we pursue. So kay ngai dan in Rose na hab nom le in habo.
Okay. Hin ed beleng neo takhat. In itia ema own ipiham career pat na dinga aha asa kipan lo laya aha asa ze in kapan thepoi ta say khat chun apat thelo helding khat chun ki mu masa etai, because see kind of logically speaking mi khat chun thir khat cho bol no man la chun where there is a will, there is a way ti khalom na. Chacho any problem a face or how will I go ahead to achieve this? Di pa khacho anay lo ala chun entrepreneurship to maybe it's not going to be his what do you call it, his line di khalomin ke ka hisab dana because henge sum eho lang this na northeast lang at eho tribal society eho tribal ho hi atam zo hi chita sum lang hai financially equipped hi lo di dan he anei mama ho chana ha nei zingu otherwise we are all below lower middle class family ngen hi atam zo hi chachu nabol nom khat chu paning enati hi alachun scratch apana them chana nei ai hong le I mean the whatever feel na choose pen chu bowling eta na gel pa chu ipiti like iti kapat na hele chun chilai chu ka success na thading a chu iti ka bol dham alampi chu nan na ki hol ngai he because if you start off with an excuse obviously excuse to it has never ending excuses you know one excuse will give you another excuse di khalomen chacho hiti tabang topic ho hi in saying wala chune ho adisa na youngster ahong khang do tinelo le ta generation e ho bana ding generation ho ding achu iti khona ding aga asai nom pen chu pham tile imasanga min ana bol sa ho hi a bol do hi ipiza ham chu they do not hold here and hold otherwise you do not hold lo ang le nan na bol nom pa chu na line ding ana ki gel ha hi ta le chu chilai na pha na ding a chu ipi hiong le na bol angai ti pa kha chu lung tu khat na ne ngai then only I think you will succeed you know zolanga Francis and say banga chu Delhi lai when saying kyong chota bang chu kyong experience tam ta kan na bolin because it, especially for northeasterners eho metro city dunga hi ha thawa hin na I mean I can understand you may ho sanga pasal ho ha sat nong kamu in because I can you know keep myself in their place eho nu me ho chne khat tolerance level sangjat kine dan deu pasal te chu them khat min ni them khat an hoyong le sajeng because mi ga ma hi phana chu them khat itu nong chu ki khel ngai khat omin so ta bang ho chu ki thua ki hin na Delhi dung lo le dang metro city so jo ta bang problem hong ki face because you have already chosen you know what you want to do that's why na college ka yong chu itapang in hal he jong le na chai te ngai khat na ki het hi ta cha chu ki pang kul ku na he in ku te yong chun sum chu awala yong in thot thailo I mean suppose ke bang chu nif kana kaya chu there were a lot of different background like me as a song family apat ahong he na tam zo nei zo ngen hi zin e bang chu in sum chu ha sa ta in ku ten iman kham ding chat in thot pe hin like shoestring budget time where you don't even have you know 100 rupees extra ti hota bang ana omzi hin so hota bang stage achu you know there were times when I had to do backstage le hello hoding achu fashion show ho omzi in fashion show ahe they need helpers you know to ana velo chun fashion show dung ahe mi rema hong do ho he avon ko same person wears different clothes in that few minutes show you know like 10 minutes show sung sa chu me khat chun wan li ve nga ve ki khel angai hom ji so ting le chun helper ho hin fat a second sa pun wan ki wan pi he so adinga chu student life agi pe na so ana ki thopi ya sum ana ki lo that's how you know you make your side income and then in kuten in thought pa chu project fee alo le rent fee ti ho aki chai so ke zo chu ima man di talo chu hot banga chu kipang kut na chu hot bang backstage ho helper ho aja kipanga somehow ki manage him cha chu what I want to say is that na ball nom khat pa chu ball te ka chai di he ka ball do te de chune ti ala chun you will always figure a way out cha chu a ki question angai izolanga Francis in why entrepreneurship at say ha topic sunga say banga chun if you have already decided that you want to be this then you know whatever it takes I'm sure you will figure a way out on your own but if you start giving excuse right from the beginning then you might as well you know go for something else where it's easier for you because atho han ngai and zo lang ha Francis ama topic asay pet da all systematic ta say pet na so khat kana gel so ama say pen so hitia entrepreneurship ball nom ho in aki gel ha cái gyal ha zo wa chu iti well ading ham hello le cha ading ham option aki gyal angai te asai pa bang chu na nangin na bol nom chu job satisfaction na nei dhinam chi entrepreneurship na ki choose wa chu ka sai dinga henge every stage nahin iti sai dham nahin experience de hin na cha chu na bol khat chu na ki papi zo lo wa hla chun sustainable zo lo di khat om ke bang ke ga ke sai ke experience a chu kin ka bol pen yong hi ka thanop chu le I felt for it ka sai dinga chu na ki I give my heart in it and say ha lunglut ta ka thanop na khat hi za chu ahong so do ateng le thir khat ka bol pa ahong so do ateng ka ki pa na khat ka nei although it will not give me a lot of profit or benefit out of it but ka bol pa chu kele ke ka ki papi lo le min ahin ki papi ho ka mu ting na chun it kind of adds up bonus mark nang le nang na ki pi the min nen ki papi lo le zo la nga min le ne ki pa na hin se ba chu KSO mo Kolkata lai ham chu an se ba nga chu so the until now it's kind of that those acknowledgement is your bonus ja chu sum se wang chu important ai pol obviously sum be ya chu king zo lo hin ho to ai but chilai option pa hai na because entrepreneurship hiti ka bon no me ta na ki gal hai le chun chi zuina ding a chu I think ki gal ha pa chu important pe ne
Lin, question so tam guy extend be I think because entrepreneurship to is probably one question elole I think questions also probably entrepreneurship adding also sum kan ipoi ti ang so hi khat mai the hin na so one question about entrepreneurship tam zone yong is ta mi tam zone entrepreneurship kapat dile sum ka ngai chai sum loi ti kapat dam ki ti ji na ahin la ichi angle zong hi va dai hale you don't necessarily need big money to actually start a business or or become an entrepreneur na cha chui to ka wa chu nisim kha dem ke pon the $100 startup ki ti le kha pun nisim dem ke pon chi chui to ka cha ga la za ba hin na nisim kha lo le nisim theo hin it's on how with minimal amount you can actually start lots of other business na and one thing kin can observe ya ka se bang chun ke ho Indian Angel Network behind invest kan bolji as behind presentation or kan zau jin on if there is a good business plan na ichi structure chu let's ho to ICC o tam kan chu kan sei ta ven pi sum bom na chi chi phem tele business kha chu hoya le ichi network a zau si si chun ai pia sum chu crore thuma de wa le ichi chu pia mon a to khom ji hin if there is a good idea a good business plan and a good team ki chu yen so ki chang ji lo so icha chu invest no ma le a thot ma sa pen hin na a chu part on window ka chu business plan haile gang chalai kyom ka tha kyom ka invest ye da thot ngai na ita chu mi atam le proportion an hop ki ji na lai asum chu ta wa lai so if you have a good idea you have a good business plan and a good team I think money should not be an issue na at least tu khanga chu Indian and even in our society na business kha chu idea hoya le there will be lots of people na of course the initial seed capital chu tham kha chu I honi po do ngai na ve ta na but once you are able to demonstrate your idea na and convince other people I think pia mi tam ta invest lo support thei di chu I think thei di I think it's entrepreneurship business start na dia jong chun let's not this if you lunglut mo wale let not money be also a issue an excuse na ga I know
je capital thua chun session khat bol kit hongai le kilometer je chu ichi banking sector a kom hon sei lo wa le
kan bol
hong ha business in family bol zo se chu finance theory izat ke jong the finance pa he bank nga tong hon sei hongai de na scheme zat government and startup holding on pen ha stand up India ho open yang le no me holding in a chu mo kin SCST ding chu tam ta bin na itio hi amani hin sei lo mai the hin jong le chi idam ole khat be session bol kit ding ham entrepreneurship lang thano mo mo ta je chu capital he sei bang a chu mi zo si boy na hin amani jong adon bu thei chanen don nin yo he documentation lang he ikha samuin thil khadi bol bo jong le license um lo ai ma capital a ki pat jeng le ti ho trade license ho jong ki don bu ni lo le balance sheet ho jong i ma cha ki don ji pon na cho jong he ko ham khat expert deu khat hoi ta te ke ya practical point of view mo mo nga hichi ngai tiam khati si leading session khati ki bol thile wang ang padam ti chu neu khat resource person te ni sei jo a ka ga tin aji ju question ju ga da hila tam jo hichingen ju hi jeng na hita bang chu hin ep hoya sum kala de ham ti 10% in age only 15% in age only another 80% only 75% government in pu do ding hai only subsidy on tam pp na lai hin state jo siang scheme chom min na itio he tu mi la he discuss man lo mai the yo hin jong la question hin dong ho jo siang ki pa thui sevin adang question na lai chat box chu ga be tin do wa hi le koi tabang adong no ma hi le microphone chu unmute bo la yong ga do jing the yo
lên
hoi hoi
Kad hindong nya na.
kita thea
Hello.
cái neo khát gạ gạ dẹp dẹp mình nhỉ cái bao me tu ni resource person ai pan pi ten yo pu Francis say into the P Roslyn in tu lai ta hottest speakers tidia na Francis hi atu se ka ngai nom jing ta bia mai tu se ai da ki cell systematic ta tu se hin angai zo ngai nom het zo het bai Roslyn zo hin amai nam sunga dinga entrepreneur self made khadahin two hottest present young generation akuna kina pium mini tunia speaker ai pan piuin mi khat ke lo mini zen hong ki sei na lai hin ai chun tuni topic hi kinong ka dei sa le ding an hia chu tuni ICC seminar webinar khat umai chong hi kan da tha lai kong join ni ka kho sa dan chuna ai chu this is important, an issue that is to be addressed, that needs to be speak about more loudly, more frequently, as much as possible. But you know, this is my personal experience. Kum sort pi government sector, engineer background kahin. Chule kum public sector 19 years ka completed. Ay mga during this time kumhizat kan to kalungger khatsu ay lekha ha simay simowa thide dia theplo su chome na we struggle engineering complete na dinga gan theita sumle pai ita sai mayo se gan the tin chang ki tho ay mga at the end of the day nai to phala meeting akitong government sector le government nga kitong public dinga kitong ai vanga ai ma family ai ma own ai ma society ading ai ma ki bol do thi which is job job mai chi phale limitation in ei dano chi chu ke ma personal time ka feel ma mai it's time to change the perception business bolte then business bolutin iti bola iti chi dem ti pai ha se uti ai 2015 a chu ICC kiti Guwahati mun ma ka ani ki sim do hin hi chong hi chang khat in awareness achi thau tai ki pam the jing in pastor ma ho jong hi pastor hi wanga ICC Tripura chapter ka tiwa meeting ka nei jing ma hi very supportive I am to in bang phadum tai hi chi su oi hong jing job tan tunia participant ho ko ma ka ga tip na nom le ka ga sei be nom chu Tilkhari boarding I laser win Pu Francis and Satan a poimo also. Carrier's choice I carrier choosing I EPP to Ngaiham, poimo ham tia sena. So one important aspect of Muda skill. We need to be skilled. To like college, Kaibin engineering I low commerce some art some asim isimo win a wangan to hichi ball ute. I chahin IT skill ham karangai lole. Design skill am khar ngai lo le chahin organizing skill khar ngai ti la khat cha ki molo hele ta bia ka se go ti sunga mi ko ho jeng photo editing ai lo la video editing ni cha ki mo zo lo so we need skills to do anything na entrepreneur ki ti skill mo mong ngai you have to have vision at the same time you need to know how to utilize leverage theme ngai na how to leverage is a speaker pa na se banga chu it's skill time and or less resources so leverage him angai dan so we need to develop those skills while we are in the college not necessary business school ham phara ga kai ngai loi wanga chu still as is simayong le I think we should plan to have that vision. Computer course ham kha join the ham ai lo le English speaking course ham ai lo le EP skill ham short term course 1 month ham 2 months ham 3 months ham choi jautin. Let's not just come and finish our degree and then go and then sit idle till we get government job. Hichi mentality pa hi ngalewan hung pha chom the ding ka gelin na. Thank you very much all the participants. Lilian Jong Hin KSO President Hin chule KSO lam kai ho. ICC Jong every Friday le webinar ki bolji in topic chom mai cho jong hi kagin chat sang and youngster lang ho hin business lang topic ho hin ilut be se po win Charles lang program ai lo le IP organized MP program ham khat lang in ya lai win. So we need to now embrace a new system na it's part to kaga tip na nom jong hi ni chan chuin tin ke ong webinar chom khana kalut ki dis in ngai the mo lang na. So thank you Francis le Roslyn chule Pastor Mang Hin adang dang KSO lam kai ho hin ajaw jo se na bon cha chunguwa ki pathu kan say nice seeing you and see you soon again.
Pame nang ke ni nan se wanga cho nang jala panmun ka chanu na hin chule ki pale zole thu se nang zo penal na pan ngai de da zo le thu se ngai tai
Enge Zolei jong already di tai hong ki launch badi tan na website jong probably agaltla jong launch di kiti hin agaltla jong your e-commerce platform marketing pat the hong idi tan to I apply ready ta bong tan na so we'll see how it goes.
Pame
Question khadom na lai
okay
trade license si ichangia point
Cái ông cầm đó để hay bỏ question khát.
Liên quay ha
Question khát hình dong nghe.
Miss question
Cái Roslyn không sai cho na question khát nom. Ai na ma sẽ ra business hi. Họ cụ cái khăn của họ gì lần. Cái họ ta bằng hi ET adjustable lam Vietnam anaw nu ham khat jine ai lo la so bi pa ham khat jine na ai lo le khan kho hi I chan ge ya ala amo dal ha yengam ol hi chi khan kho hi business a hi achi pm ETM Roslyn ju ga nom he
question dan chu khan kho to ipinati
ke question ju kha vein sei pi nyo achi do kha na business a na business a hi am do na po na so pi ho jine na ham ai lo al chinakin ham ibham khanum tai na ai wang chu nana to na mun ti de ham na business na da thilo hi ai la hi thio to bang hi ti adjust olam ti ju ka do nom he Roslyn
okay
na he team tam ko question chu
he team tai ke e ho ki te chu zo sia chu
team da ju na thio to bang ti adjust no bolam bi no
ilhin to ka wa chu like ki vui thelo ro le kitchen na ho banga chu insung mi te thing te ngai thi ho to in ne hi za chun henge ta chu pathen lung se na ke kana to chu ka se banga chu business ka pat na chu now I don't have to take leave from anyone ka chi nom na khat ero la ka bol ding khat na chun I can pack my bag a pet na kadal ha ka chi jing the pa option chu ka nei tan ja chu luckily insunga kin ho chu zau na the chala chun ka zau the jing nai tu chan ge na I think na handom chu di na ka se chu
ala hi chi chun na business I chan ge ato kham asam I to to bang khan ko to chi tha pa chu
to kha chet zo lo tile because even ke kom lo wa he lo chun ka thil bowling chu channel la ki koi hi ta za chu all la chi thing the he ga setting ko nga chu apun khong hon e khon pi jimu tile na sting le ke bang chun design ka bowling ho chu ke ball cha ya akhui di hon akhui jimu ya uma hin yes, there are times kay bang chung amuna ka topia ka bolding to so thawin, but I can always adjust because it's my own business, my baby. Kin apart chu ka hey tu lele the tho hitan ya chun ka manage the na e things.
Alena tun khat hin khat ve hin do be ge na ale hi chu na nga chu na ni next the na a hin hi bang hi entrepreneurship khat jui a hi lo la chang se ti uti adu a business muna lo wa hi le ni khat ni ada ha hi boy the ding ho I otherwise na pi no mam I ta bang khan khoyong boarding a hi e ho Kuki society a khan dong boy loading chule business on hoi ta chil hading run hiding chipa hi iti advice na bol mam
Chilang pangading at ga setting at every business to kibang lohin na ka setting at kin kay expect nga pala kasi hin business za chum chun na time ay lo len na invest to za chum chi hin so I cannot kay bang chun me feel chum ho chu ka comment hey lo hin but kay background lang ho chu ki say ala chun tong khalo hilayong kathil bolding to phone na operate ka bol the tho in ni chom khat bang chuna but a bol thelo hil hoding a chu hot bang chu manage na ding a chu I think they should have somebody ama ho noi chat na tong khat hi train a bol panungai ka se because lo ting le noi chat na tong ho bang chun abana ho chu ana coordinate the ni ding ama lo ka ana ni khat ni be lo le hap ta khat be chi ha pin the ding a abana hon a manage ni ding a chu ki hil chu angain July to ahong poi mo because that's what we call a teamwork. Yung lo pating le inunga tong thing ite to ka chu hot bang to manage him. I think this is what I would advise na.
Ale po Francis ken question ha no me please po friends kado be thei de ham question khat ken do nom je hian le gang chala ken sei tai tu ai ale tu ai business mi khaden apan tai ti te apan tai ale tu ai sei bang wa chu bis khat he apan tan ai le hi chi khan khopa chu achang se azui din tu pi Roslyn chu na se ya he achang se azui lo he mi a ki koi lo chu idi mene bol dam ti chu nei sei bi thei di ham ga ti he ti chu achai ne hi tan ti pai po Francis
I think Roslyn tam tan say time personal experience ngan say hin it's a personal experience sam lo chen ha be di dan so na be la ka ha khil so dem ke pon na hin la what I ka say nom le I think it's a very personal choice or a personal way of balancing the two na tichu me there will people biha khachun society kho sa na bangchun business so chu ako sa jing society pum don lo jong mai te ka business lo hen pa le ti mai te na abang chu nei le society chu first important business chu all bol tangi yong ati mai te na so I think it's a personal choice to a certain extent you are Roslyn say banga chu you have to balance because if also in langa business bol le we are still we have khan kholoji agi hing na lai na you have to do the balancing hichi balance nothing chu ipina bol yam tele you are Roslyn say banga chu you have to prepare alternate arrangements na nga saying dem kanao panjong in langa ST water den tui supply khada bolin na sam khachu kichi like Christmas am ki to khom talo so because he wants to focus on that but if there's something critical ho in kaidiam yam te kharam lechun you have to drop now whatever business you have to cater to that if you have to draw the line na where say hits and wang ka bowling beyond this tikhachu e ma own personal achu that balancing to ki ball ngayin na and beyond that you have to find people khankhology achu nang na che thelo le nen ko tiam ka chi di khat na koi ngai elo le business langa chu nang nam thelo le mi na manage pi di khat chu ipiha na koi ngai ti chu ka se nu mai hin langkha da chun if you're an entrepreneur ipiha corporate lang business lang persuasion ki say so if you're starting a business and you're very serious about it I think for some time at least we have to make some compromises na yeah I say so that's why entrepreneurship is not easy na because business also lolling and tile to a certain extent you have to make some compromises na but until you're able to establish. You say business owner entrepreneur you still have, you can still do all that na. But at least while you are building up the business so na grow pat like that you'll have to make some sacrifices, because otherwise the business will get affected na. So how do you balance the two? I think it's personal na ball 19, but at least at the initial stages you have to make certain sacrifice. And as and when you go business only na me and handle you can make it up na. So I think amasa personal finance manage dito sum hoindunga ki thopi na ho mi gan te ki thopi dio tu question khat don bona kan say tabang choni piham apat na chu mi si chui ki thopi no mai boya le isum su pi le e yong ki holo amo jong phachom lo hi ki thopi yong ki pa chom lo na. But you build your personal finance, you become rich, you become independent, and you're able to help people in a bigger way na. Alien jo asune ki thopi thei pha le chun na. You don't have to be in a hurry na. Kumjam ga chun nang get ithon lang focus your personal finance, the business, then business only na sumle pai na hawa nang tam pha le, you can do all those things in a much bigger way na. Me alien jo ang ki thopi thei, and that will have much more impact. Last I think Bill Gates also me tamta there will also negative comments about him na business corporate, but at the end of the day he built his business to all it nungai pi bolam also foundation, and he actually is giving away all his wealth for charity na. He's able to do it in a much bigger way. So initial stages, if you are getting into an entrepreneurship, be ready for some sacrifices na. Same it's business or your business might get impacted na. So at least at the initial stages, once business owner business only now you have people below you who can take care na. You say vacation that's young business you can do whatever you want na. But while you are building up, I think that's very important that you give equal focus to the business na. So can gaga habe no mi ano panachuna puchon I don't know panam answer jokel
ahile adang question the pon hile YouTube lang jon question khado na Francis ma manin don but jingla pantin trade license is an apoimo hamtian ke head dan chu hile business he ipat dipo po ahile. First and foremost, trade license nei te trade license hoy nei palujun permit hitan na police ho jong nei mo mat mat thelo hin ep trade ki bol jong license ki nei tingla business bol go mong ho in e ho hi documentation lang ki don mong pon e ma suma emjo se bol ding sungchu akichai le ki chai profit le ki chai ta atha ki pat kid ding aw na. But benga pat finance ila ahile but kasa adi khuzat installment ka period में ती है जो to achieve that na we try hard nasata pan kila 10,000 installment ही ले permanent 20,000 जन के बोला that 10,000 extra हम पाँच ही माध्यम हम चाहते हम क्या it has a business हम success in na bank finance लो वांग business alo हिंदी का तासन पर EP ही trade license to हिंदो जो उनकी हम उनके ना इतने में ज़्यादा पगा से इन preferences in दोनों में मानते
Lin, I think an answer but I think if you want to establish a proper business na in langazong tulang hoita strict hoita na, I think trade license as because it's a must na. Trade license wants to need it and city la de it's you can't do business without it na. And of course the city dung zui hono mon jong biha some time limit a pay na biha city smaller cities are within 30 days of the business you should have a trade license na. City ladunga wants to maybe within 7 days of starting the business, which means apply ball now so at least 30-40 days to the which means business na pat masanga so na applying IT na you can start after applying, but na pat so small city ladunga so at least 30 days you should get the trade license na. City ladunga so I think it's at least within 1 week na strict in so business city la lin la dong ai bol de lawan chun is better to go for proper na business hoi tai bowling ale in langa jong tu la yang ai tai na. I think that's very important. Business grow ding ale chu trade license me na la hin na company che grow diwale we have property with the private company then public company job an anang tam ta compliances om na lai ding hin na as you grow, but at least to start with trade license so nei te cho phai na
session he banking sector ana to हम banking लंगा ehon available थे जो ना इचो EPP scheme हम EP चुई बोल EP चुई किला थे हम जो customer चुई मचा head लोग ना abenga na tong homa ma hen in hichi nang nangin hichi na evel the hichi angai document ya su pi je na in na ki ho banking group ho jong kun ka sei kom jivin ihon kol le wai jong loan pi win npa hi tho in ama npa hi mana jel ki lut de lo in emi khat pia npa hong hi ta jong le mi ngai pi na la chu mi thum success jong le lo mi khat success jong le kai ti bo ka sei jivin na hi ja chu chilang advice jong hi neu khat khad we hi ICC ham khad den gong han langai lo le ke son jong gun mo chu hi pun banking sector na tong ho khad le ni hi ki ho lim sa le phadem na aji chu business chu se banga cha theory zat khelong le suminai lo le pan the lo in aji chu business khat pat ni nga chu document EPP ngayam ti be chu het ngai EPP hoilai office a kala dem ti jong het ngai na like trade license hitan banking sector apana sumna la ding finance nati ai jong project report EPP ham ti ho jong abona ngai hinna balance sheet audited here lang EP le estimated projected yong so ngai income tax return jong e ho thing lang me tax ki pi jong la iza de ka income an hi ki chu file ga bona a document ni po po ngai na cho jong tam pi se di ngai hen EP jong la tu ni session a cover zo lo diu tam ti chu hin hopefully ni khatle hichi lang mong focus a chu question jong hichi lang bo chu dong dinga na business mi khachun a bol chi ka bol en EPP ka ngai chat nyam to direct ai do jeng thi du kha KSO hi lo le ICC te ho appeal ki bol en na manin gon the diu na ti chu ga ki cham tu hi plan ki gong le ti khat chu ka ngai dan hen ti question dang om lo a le why na be bol diu tam he lo le
khát các gã độ thì đi ham lên
okay please
preferences kumba các gã độ num khát au min na financial entrepreneurship lampang ahin ti chu NBFC microfinance ti lang ho hi hola adi sada emi hola for example churchanpur la hi bolding ai feasible thobam chule bol do ding hi le EPP qualification hi lo le infrastructure EPP ngai cham ti chu ka ga do no mai ma kuma
okay pa me Ronald kitun somlang be kan no dem tele NBFC tu nan mai NBFC I think it's very much feasible na Ronald because to a lilin function I ho langa ho for example city la chu bank ho en loan la dinga phone na bol to na dalmi dal le le na yo langa ho loan la diong le ha na ti chu the banking reach the banking penetration who it's still very low na he ya ho video na ni sei ji bangwa mi tam ta hun bank aga chi al ha ta loan ga la sanga chu I ho sum thoi ho ki la wa sum thoi tam da ta yong ki la jing ho na because that's the banking penetration who a ha dewa ngai jen hichi a ha theina dinga chu EPTM tile India jong chule even abroad na hu lai jong le banking sector hona cater thailo ho next ho chu typically NBFC ho chu hung lu ji na non banking finance corporation so in langa jong so definitely there's a market a requirement ho hi le NBFCs like banks na bank ho ta banga they come under RBI regulation na so RBI who apply bol na yin na apply bol na dinga who ka het khelo le you have to deposit 2 crores na 2 crores deposit holding and I think it takes about 6 months to get the license but license mo pa le chi sum sun nan nung pi tho diu na nan nung pi within cha so business so working capital na man ki the tho na but you have to deposit to give them comfort that sum na na so let na profile home item check within so NBFCs other challenge to Manipura so there are lots of NBFCs whose license are also getting cancelled and they have how they na they're doing things the right way so it might be a little difficult to be honest na so some pushing might be required but to lakron to deposit I think it takes about 6 months the process also there are few consultants who can also help na who can also guide you so thanom the time so we can connect them na to those consultants so also register bol the hi the only challenge is in langa NBFC song so tamza ki cancel dem it is jawan so le ya chana context abo so tam khat challenging jab dam che bo so hin na
bảo me
nào bạn mầm
ya pai
Jacob in question hen do zum fu ege la chu cover tam tin ama chun cover nai ko tin iga ve jap the dia chat box as question of menta
okay liên nan sim do thế đại kia hui chế bên ha kyong hin hol tari nga
khat so ga ve ho
startup pat na dinga EPP ngayam ta hen do hen answer kana bot le ke chun chat box ha ma private na
I think Rose I think that's the nang bon answer thai di hen fa yan answer
ke chun ka sei pen chu idea stage hi ala chun maybe ama sei dan chu government apana EPP ngai mu thei scheme ima ta do hin na cha chu kin ka sei pen chu startup India hello startup Manipur tu lai ha chi pen then to a website to have a visit what hen lang then if he has a very good idea then he can apply for idea stage hilo wala chun business boss ha ho dinga achungo ma he startup chu na cha cha ma chu idea stage le chun chun apply ball hen ka ga su okay I mean I hope that is what it's supposed to be answered
apa ye
ana sei pi le ka jingin ke pa men when the bol dari lang ai to tin azi chu har jom he so tem ta kum som lang ngai ta na pastor mang hi umna lai mo pastor khat jaw pi na pastor mang gang te from Tripura nai na
Come.
okay le closing prayer na ki chai na ta na mang dinga nang kan de sau hen tu hen KSO general secretary pain board of thanks in tin achizo tiang le pastor mangin session close na ta na hin mangin
hello nega te vai
Izai
sa phan bon rawin masu penin hat phai pi wa pachen khang wen tun thap phat hoita anaki gong mulo program naki gong ai mu sa te ba pachen hi zalin pachen thang ba na pe tin le abanin KSO Guwahati te kawang phawen pandemic hi mitam ta ding amboin hi wa lang khara ka gel dingin tuni tha speaker a ipan pu Francis hin le pi Roslyn hin pandemic hilo hile theo hen ni ka ki ko zo le diun hi ven ai wa lang kha in wang phadumin online ho thama ka ki nei the he ke ho ding chun wang phan lin ta hin ai chu nang ni zong naman tam phon wal je hin mun chum chuma mi no na ko jing hin ikala to ke ho ese webinar dinga nega pan pi the pe kala gel wa le pauma ma jingin le pu Francis hin amanong hatga man chenga le ngai no ma jingin til se ho jang thin concentrate hoi tin ki bon ki ngai yang thein kon ka ni se yong la chi ngai yang thein anom be sen ki pa amin chulin na thil hil ho yang anom thein adi se da ei pawa hi ta hoi ta ga khil thei ga se thei tu chu tham understanding to agil athu zo in pau dang thama seminar them ki attend tinga le ki tai ting le amzo gap zo lo hin wang ei pawa hoi ta ga se ga bol thei chu ki pa amin chuban ki le piro sin hin mong ki het na pen chile next side ho nam ho some design ho in sema ko na he amiel ho ni ki hello wa chu masan ki mu lo wa ta til sim ho hen ki o a hello ale mitam pi nam pin ki mang sa hin ti chun la phara ke ho la phan hung man pi the jun ki pa thugin thongin adi sa nang ni ka ve le tu musang ICC chun phan pi bujun kyong kan pangin ni hello di hiven ewan ka ve le phan man thon dan chom cha very clear ahi in a boring man jipon in fact itham ipc be dham ti zo na kinga aji in ewa an kitai jita ji chun phan man chuna them thone ti ka se do no min ki pa mongin ai ho Kuki society dinga miman tamta ka ni thoin chule young generation dinga inspiration ni thone ki he chun la phan vel ga se do kin hi neu pan pi zan ki pa win chule ki pa pin zalin ke hono KSO Guwahati injong se tuni sa program imon hedging dinga memento he kahin chemwa nang ni khan pi lu hin la iti phat pe na hung thang wang chu he thei pon pandemic hol jam dong le tukum sunga wang hung thun ding chu kin moment ipile phat pen wang chu se thei pon din jong le chu de he ho ko na dong ne ki san pi lu chu ken se na hi chuban khi in ke ho advisor pu ade sara pu le cha he very vibrant hin ama zala he tun pha phara speaker tenism kinai do the hin direction ama chung jong ki pa thu ga phongin le tun pha phara munchum chuma ko na ehin pan piwa ade sa manipur lang hen lang assam nagaland le munchum chuma khoilang ko na jong le ahung ta wa so sin bon chuma ki pa thu ga phongin le Guwahati a member ho participant ho so si chuma jong ite program ga lot in sa thia pan hizalovin bon tau chuma ki pa thu sejin le zo na pena dingin KSO Guwahati executive member hon jong ti ta bang program mizo si ga thanop na the hilo le society in need of the art of banga khat entrepreneurship ho ta bang ga gong do thia zalovin lamkai ho chunga jong avail ki pa tu phung phonge iten ju kema farman he ka ki pa e
khát các gã sĩ hay ở bên này, và sau mang rất minute khát lele asi meeting, tu đi là hi meeting ID ETP ho Zoom mà cái ball hi ni cho dòng conferences nó có na in gun tu hin, chỉ chung dòng mà chung dòng cái path thôi gã sĩ kinh win, tiếng le tu đi là hi host hin ball, thì là system technical host thì đi đàn tin hin ball KWS Guwahati khang lai chairman pa pu thango mang hin ama chunga zo pa thoga ki se na isteni cho se hai le no modem katia so kilial do ja cho hin se tun pastor mang hat pi tin tun association a za zo se pa thui se win tiang le phat chom pi te te do he ki dei sa ma ja cho pastor pa he hong zao je ama hen thien nga thom pi na so chai na pen e ga nei pi la ki dei sa za la ma he chụp bia hiện của ngày
ale ke pa ko ma session nom ta ke mang ko ne jat ke ma Prof Francis and namin kazak zaka tunta ken kamo ke pa ka nu Roslyn le nanek tai kha ken le khat kan ne kha ke pa ko me pa sam na ne ka